It's time for the first major of the season, the PBA World Championship. And as it should be, the best are here to compete. Five-time PBA Tour winner and #1 seed Jason Belmonte. And his arch-rival, 2012 Player of the Year, Rash. But below them in this stepladder final are a trio of players who would love nothing more than to break up a Belmonte-Rash reunion, including 32-time PBA titleist Parker Bohn III. Incredibly, Bohn has only one major victory in his Hall of Fame career. Could he get another at the age of 49? From Las Vegas, the PBA World Championship starts now. Welcome to the first major of the season, the PBA World Championship from South Point Hotel, Casino and Spa. I'm Lon McCarron with Randy Peterson and Kimberly Pressler. Let's meet the 5 potential champions competing today. Here is public address announcer Mike J.
The #5 qualifier owns 32 PBA Tour titles, good for 6th on the all-time list. 2-time PBA Player of the Year with a perfect game on television. From Jackson, New Jersey, PBA Hall of Famer Parker Bohn III. The #4 player was the Collegiate Player of the Year, bowling for Saginaw Valley State. He owns 1 PBA regional title. From Windsor, Ontario, representing Canada, Dan the Man, Dan MacLelland. The #3 qualifier owns 3 PBA Tour titles and is the 2007-8 PBA Rookie of the Year. From Dade City, Florida, the Orange Crush, Rhino Page. The #2 player is a 5-time PBA Tour champion, including 2 majors. The reigning PBA Player of the Year and ESPY winner from Montgomery, Illinois, Rash. The tournament leader is the 2008 World 10-Pin Bowler of the Year with 5 career PBA Tour titles from Orange, New South Wales, Australia, Belmo, Jason Belmonte.
Hi everybody, Lon McCarron along with Randy Peterson, and the first major of the season upon us right now, and it should be a great competition. Top seed Jason Belmonte told us the only reason he came from Australia to Las Vegas was to win his first major PBA title. Whoever he meets in the title match, he's going to have his two-handed style full, but if he meets second-seeded Rash, well, all bets are off.
Yeah, because it's the greatest rivalry in professional bowling. Folks, let's not kid ourselves. These two do not like each other. Now, Rash may be the reigning Player of the Year, but I guarantee you that does not sit well with Jason Belmonte, who was runner-up to that honor. Now, Jason Belmonte desperately wants to win his first major, and he wants to do it here in Las Vegas, Lon, but I guarantee you one thing. Victory would be that much sweeter if it came against Rash.
Indeed. Let's take a look at our championship bracket. We've got 5 strong competitors, just 3 majors between them, 2 for Rash, just 1 for Parker Bohn III, the #5 seed, who will meet Dan MacLelland in the opener.
Well, the PBA World Championship oil pattern is 41 feet in length. It offered us medium to high scores throughout this event. The players started playing right around the track area, like the second arrow to the first arrow, and as the lanes broke down, they just migrate in. One thing to note, we do have 2 southpaws on this telecast and a lot of revolutions on the right side of the lane.
The man who will open it up, Parker Bohn III, 49 years old, 32 PBA titles. As I mentioned, just 1 major title, the 01 USBC Masters. Taking on Dan MacLelland with no titles. Opening ball of this championship round, and it is a full strike for Parker Bohn. Nice way to start. There are his kids. He has 5 children. They're all so excited for Dad. 3 of them came with the signs. Leslie Bohn, Parker's wife, also here. There is Dan MacLelland, 4th PBA season from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. 5th TV appearance. He's lost in the first round each time.
Good shot.
4-pin.
I've always said really good things about Dan MacLelland on television, and Dan's always struggled on TV, but I'm not giving up on this young man. Look at that form.
Why should you? Right.
Great high backswing. He can play multiple angles. Watched him in qualifying for this event. He was throwing it as straight as you could possibly imagine for a guy that could create a lot of revolutions. A lot of talent in this young man.
D-Mac cleans it up. He gives us a nice chance to explain how we keep score on the PBA Tour and at your home bowling center.
Well, it's pretty easy, Lon. If you just throw strikes the whole game, it's going to be 300. Okay, all kidding aside, a strike is 10 plus the next 2 shots you throw. A spare is 10 plus the very next ball.
My partner, Randy Peterson, won this event in 1987. He knows what it's like. Oh, and MacLelland got the mixer to give him the strike.
You know, he told us he needed to be more animated on television. So that's what we need to look for. Dan MacLelland starts stringing strikes. Look for this guy to erupt.
And it's just to be true to himself, he said, to bring out those emotions he's feeling inside.
All right, already seeing a little something, something.
And Parker leaves the 3-6.
It's been a while for Parker Bohn III. He hasn't won since 2008. His last show came in Cheektowaga, New York at the Mark Roth Plastic Ball Championship.
And Parker cleans that up, no problem. Randy mentioned that it's been a while since we've seen Parker in a televised final, but it's not for lack of trying.
It's been about 2 years since I've been on one of the actual telecasts, and it's kind of sad. You know, you're walking away, I don't want to say with your head down, but you're like shrugging your shoulders, looking around, you know, and you got to put your hands in the air and look in the mirror and go, what's the deal? You know, what am I missing here? And fortunately, I've been working hard at my game, trying to figure it out, and I'm going to be hopeful that it can continue, you know, not just this week, but for, you know, many weeks down the road.
And take a look at Parker Bohn III's arsenal. He's going with a mean streak. It's not a very aggressive bowling ball. It's a little surprising, even though he's got angle playing the extreme outside part of the lane. This is a longer pattern. Parker's not known for a big rev guy. He's that straight down and in with a lot of speed. You would think he'd throw something a little more aggressive, but that's why I'm sitting here and he's bowling out there.
Boy, that one came from left field and took them all down.
Tremendous career that guy's had. Hall of Famer, just an ageless style. If you're left-handed and you want to copy somebody, watch this. I mean, he had the same knee bend when he was 22.
That's probably a huge key to his longevity.
Well, he's got the metabolism of a hamster or a ferret on a double espresso. The guy never puts on any weight.
D-Mac, 10-pin.
Good shot.
And the bowling gods just got back at him for that trip 2-pin in the second frame. He comes back with a really good shot, only to leave a ringing 10. See that hand stay up the back? That controls that down lane ball reaction.
The winner of this match will go on to meet number 3 seed Rhino Page, big strong left-hander.
Good shot, Ben.
Even match now through 3 frames.
D-Mac going with the bow. Like I said earlier, keeping his hand up the back of it to try to control the down lane ball reaction.
D-Mac said he just has to think of Parker Bohn as just another bowler. Have to bowl my game. Can he get it?
Yeah,
baby! We've got an even match as we open up this PBA World Championship competition. Parker Bohn III and Dan MacLelland come on back to Las Vegas. The PBA World Championship is brought to you by Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. Bayer Advanced Aspirin. See how it can work for you at FastReliefChallenge.com. Alka-Seltzer Plus, available in a liquid gel. And by Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. Welcome back to Las Vegas and South Point Hotel, Casino and Spa. While we were away, Dan MacLelland would strike in the fifth for a double.
Good shot,
but would leave the 7 in the sixth, which he would pick up to stay clean.
Really?
Parker Bohn in the sixth, trying for a 4-bagger, and leaves the 3-pin. He would clean that up, then waste no time in getting right back on the strike train. That's where we stand right now. Parker Bohn III up by 10 after his 7th frame. Top seed Jason Belmonte waiting in the wings. He's with Kimberly Pressler right now.
Jason, you're the #1 seed going into today. How much do you pay attention to these early matches?
Yeah, you know, you have to a little bit. Obviously, every time their ball goes down the lane, it's going to manipulate the oil somewhat. So you do have to, like, just poke your head around the corner and check it out a little bit. But, you know, with Parker on this particular match and then Rhino on the next one, been left-handed, unless I start throwing some backup shots, I probably won't be looking at their balls too much. But definitely looking at Dan's and Sean's as they go down the lane.
Good luck today.
Cheers, son.
So he has a little weight in front of him. Rhino Page still to bowl. Sean Rash, the #2 seed, still to bowl. We've got to finish this off as Dan MacLelland comes to the right lane, down by 10. MacLelland would love to make his first title a major. Another strike for MacLelland. Doesn't seem like being on TV is bothering him much today.
I was intimidated by the cameras, the lights, the first few times I've been out here. You can't help it. You know, sometimes players overcome it really quickly, some don't. I just keep telling myself, I will, if I give myself enough chances, I will be winning. And, you know, just keep going with the positives and throw back the negatives. Don't even think about them.
So MacLelland up here in the 8th, trailing by 10, trying to double up, and leaves the 4-pin.
Every ball in the pocket, but only one double for Dan MacLelland. This is a little left to target. Quite honestly, I think he's fortunate to just leave a 4-pin with that shot there.
Easy spare for Dan.
Good shot. Good shots.
Trying to keep himself in a positive frame of mind. Now with a 10-pin advantage in his 8th frame, Parker Bohn III. He's used to bowling on the big stage. And he's coming through.
Parker's obviously really focused, and it's been a while since he's visited the winner's circle. He's got to take one match at a time and climb the ladder, so it's doable, obviously, but it's a long road.
It is a long road, and the older you get, I got to be truthful about it. It can get more difficult. I mean, to keep that mental focus, to keep the physical sharpness. You've done a lot of training. You've done your warm-up. You've done a lot of bowling coming into this opening match, and it adds up.
Mm-hmm.
Parker working on a double. 9th frame. Nice ball from Parker Bohn. No tired bones in that body.
Nice.
Look at that. for Parker. Now he gives the lanes to Dan MacLelland. MacLelland on the right lane. Just 2 strikes so far. Same roll, same spot.
Yeah, and it's all but over for Dan MacLelland. Pretty solid game, but just no pin carry. A couple of high shots like the last 2 4 pins. He did leave a solid 7 and a ring and 10 around strikes. But Parker Bohn right now is in the 230s, and the best Dan MacLelland can shoot is 218 if he converts this.
So Dan MacLelland bowled very well to get into this TV final. But it appears that his record will be intact over TV matches. MacLelland in the 10th.
There it is.
That's the ball he wanted a long time ago. Dan will just try to put up the best score he can now. He's probably sick and tired of chalking this one up to experience, isn't he?
Yeah, he's done with that now. But he did bowl a real solid game. Just no pin carry. All goes into the think tank and the learning curve. You know, it's something that he applies to the next time he makes a show, and he will make another telecast. He's just too good not to.
27-year-old has won regional title. Still early in his PBA career. A lot of bowling yet ahead of him. A lot of terrific bowling still ahead of him. And MacLelland strikes out to end his PBA World Championship. 218. Parker Bohn III. Just trying to make it official. To advance. Parker Bohn III will advance into the next round of this PBA World Championship. His kids will stick around to cheer him on. He will meet Rhino Page in the next round, and we'll have that match for you when we come back to Las Vegas. Welcome back to the Geico PBA World Series of Bowling. This is the PBA World Championship, our first major of the season. Match number 1, Parker Bohn with a 226-218 victory over Dan MacLelland moves him into match number 2 against the 3rd-seeded Rhino Page.
Field of 240 bowlers, every event sold out at the World Series of Bowling. 32 games of qualifying, and that was 8 games on every animal oil pattern, and then the field was cut to the top 24 for 24 games of round-robin match play. Then the field was cut to the top 5 for television.
Parker Bohn continuing his travels to another major, leaves the 7.
It's going to be interesting to watch how the lanes transition now that there's 2 southpaws going at it head-to-head. Ring and 7 as the 4-pin goes around the 7-pin.
Now, do the righties, Sean Rash coming up next, does he like the 2 lefties or here? Or is it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Both Rash and Belmonte like this because it saves their side of the lane. There's only been one righty thus far. It was Dan MacLelland. He was playing the extreme outside part of the lane.
And skidding over most of the oil with the power that he had anyway.
Yeah, he's throwing it pretty straight and pretty fast.
Rhino Page, 3 PBA titles for the 29-year-old, comes up with a big strike. Did you happen to notice his orange pants? Well, Kimberly Pressler did. What's the deal, Kimberly?
Well, I found out the mystery behind the orange pants. Rhino is paying homage to his favorite golfer, Ricky Fowler. An avid golfer himself, Rhino saw Ricky wearing the orange pants one day and said, hey, I want to bring that to TV and make orange cool, just like his idol.
And I thought he was just copying my tie tonight, Randy.
Lon.
Page going for the double, and he's got it. Boy, that ball went through those pins just as his nickname, Rhino. He was named for Rhino for being so aggressive, so animated, and intense.
This one's a little bit farther left and peels back off of the outside part of the lane for a nice mixer. I just can't stop looking at those pants.
And I thought Parker's shirt was orange. All right. 9 spare open for Parker Bohn. 9 again.
And back-to-back 7 pins. And one of the keys to being successful on this tour is getting your bowling ball to go through the pins the right way. And that's what increases pin carry. Most of these guys are going to find the pocket, but the ones that have a higher carry percentage are the ones that are going to thrive. As we see Parker Bohn almost missing another 7-pin.
Speaking of missing something, Parker almost missed today's show. He beat out Indiana's Craig Lamont in qualifying by just 3 pins for the 24th and final spot in round-robin match play. Bohn then made the most of his opportunity, averaging nearly 235 through the 3 rounds of 8-game match play to work his way up to the number 5 position and today's telecast. That won't do it. Kids are not as animated right now.
Well, Dad's not striking enough. Rhino Page got off to that quick start. Parker is yet to strike in this second match. Jack Nicklaus was 46 when he won the Masters. Parker Bohn, I believe, is 49. So it would be way better than what Jack Nicklaus did.
You're right. So Parker with no strikes yet in this is second match of the PBA World Championship. Rhino Page made today's show by beating former Player of the Year Wes Malott in the final position round match, 257-214. Rhino would jump from 6th to the number 3 position on today's step ladder, knocking Malott off the show. Rhino trying to stay perfect here in the third.
Oh,
he knew that right out of the hand. Parker Bohn might make up a lot very quickly here.
Unless Rhino converts this, but this ball picks up immediately. Goes right through the nose. Leaves the 2, 4, 6, 7, 10. Remember that right lane. He didn't look very comfortable on that right lane in his warm-ups. That's why he chose to finish on the left lane, and here it is, the third frame, and it's already jumped up to bite him.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Rhino.
He was going for broke, and that's what he came up with.
It's like he just dropped it right in the gutter. Christmas comes early for Parker Bohn, the third, 5, and then 0. He just loses this right off his hand.
Well, no reason to look down the lane. Just look at the hand, try to figure out what went wrong. He knew where the ball was going. A 5 in the third frame after Rhino had doubled. And he comes back big time. That is mental intensity from Rhino Page. He's down by 12. Parker Bohn coming to the lanes when we come back. Welcome back to Las Vegas and the first major of the season, the PBA World Championship. While we were away, Parker Bohn ran into some trouble in the fourth. A 3-7 split and an eventual open frame, reducing his lead over Rhino Page to just 1 pin. Parker would leave the 10 in the fifth, which he converted. Rhino Page also had a small issue during the break, leaving the 3-6-9 in the fifth, but he would clean that up and then came back with a strike in the sixth to take the lead. That's where we stand in match number 2. Parker Bohn III down by 1 to Rhino Page, even though Parker Bohn has not struck yet in this match.
And this right lane is starting to look ugly for these two southpaws.
Yes! Special delivery, Parker Bohn III.
Nice little messenger to stay within 1 of Rhino Page.
He had to wait a long time. Let's take a look now at the Fast Safe Pain Relief Replay, brought to you by the makers of Bear Advanced Aspirin. Finally a strike for Parker Bohn III in the sixth.
He looked slightly amused at that as well, didn't he?
Oh, I think so. Trying to back it up on the left lane. No messenger this time.
Yeah, well, you're not going to get a messenger when you hit it there, when you hit the pocket there. He was looking to kick that 7 pin out. Instead, it's another ringing 7 for Parker Bohn III. And hard to throw doubles when your pin carry is at about 20%.
Takes care of the 7. Still a 1-pin match. Now Rhino Page's 7th.
Using a berserk, which is what's going to happen and what he's going to do if he doesn't double here. Actually, now he's making a ball change. Now he's going to a Defiant Soul. So trying to combat the wet, dry ball reaction he has on the right lane, he's going to something stronger.
Here it comes. Oh, nice change. A double for Rhino Page. There's Ryan Ochoa. He's Lanny from Disney's Pair of Kings, seen on Disney XD. He's a guest of Rhino Page.
So Rhino makes a ball change, and the result is absolutely perfect. Staying with the berserk on the left lane.
Oh, 7-pin after the double from Page.
Another good looking shot here. He was looking to increase his lead. Really good shot. The ball picks up a little bit later than he would have liked. That entry angle into the pins, coming just a little bit behind the head pin, leaving the ringing 7.
It's throwing a shadow on the gutter on that left side. Page up by 10 now.
Oh, God.
He did a little extra hop or something
Jeez
there. The
Louise.
approach and missed.
Disaster.
He had the match.
First one all week.
Just out of control, loses his footing at the foul line and whiffs the 7-pin.
Two open frames for Page. Parker, again, with just 1 strike so far in this match through 7. And he's ahead.
Guess what? Another 7-pin.
Even the kids are scratching their head over what's going on with Dad.
Ball's just not going through the pins the right way.
Well, both competitors here in match number 2 of this PBA World Championship have had plenty of experience cleaning up. And Parker does just that. He's up by 1. A very intriguing match. And right now you see Bohn up by 1 through 8. And if you don't know how to score by now after scoring this game, you've had every opportunity for just about anything here.
Well, what's bizarre is Parker's only struck once in this entire match, and he's leading by 1 pin. He's left 4 7-pins in this game.
Parker Bohn III comes through big time in the 9th.
The question is, can he do it on the right lane? 203 max score now for Parker Bohn III. 202 max score for Rhino Page. And just how big is that 7-pin whiff going to be here? The one that Rhino Page missed in the 8th frame.
All about timing. Bohn comes through with this strike in the 9th. Can Rhino Page answer?
What is going on this lane? Jiminy Christmas. I feel like I aced it.
He's got no answer.
Oh, it looks like he gets this ball a little wide of target and it overhooks. Again, getting back to that wet dry ball reaction that they're not real accustomed to. The right lane is really giving him fits in this game. He gets that one just a little bit wide of target, overhooks and goes right through the nose.
Page needs some magic. So now down by 12, going to the 10th. This one's not over though. We've seen so much happen in this match.
Yeah, well, especially since Parker has to finish on that right lane, but Rhino Page, to have any chance, has to strike out. If he does, he'll shoot 181, and that would force Parker to fill spare strike or spare 9 in the 10th frame to win by 1.
Just not happening for Rhino Page.
It's incredible. That's incredible.
Page, the #1 pick in the PBA league by Norm Duke. He says he's the best left-hander in the game, but he's not the best left-hander on this pair of lanes here right now.
Well, I guarantee anybody that knows anything about bowling never saw this coming and never thought that a match against Parker Bohn III and Rhino Page would be 170 to 180.
How much do you think that what you're talking about with the oil pattern being burned up with 2 left-handers coming into play?
Well,
Not that much?
It's all of it.
It's all of it, okay.
I'll tell you who is happy to see what to watch what's going on right now, and it's the other right-handers that are left in this tournament.
Mm-hmm. And the next one up is Sean Rash, #2 seed. He will meet the winner. So 170 for Rhino Page.
Never know.
And you're right, you never know.
Well, Parker would need to go Greek Church or Big 4 on this ball.
9 pins is what Parker Bohn needs. Well, you don't have to be the fastest one in the pack. You just have to be not the slowest one to get eaten in the Savannah. Nine to win. He got them all! Parker Parker Bohn III comes through big time when he needed it most. Way to go, Dad. Nice match, Rhino Page. It was tough going. Parker Bohn moves through. He will meet Sean Rash when we come back. The PBA World Championship is brought to you by Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. Roto-Grip, defying them all with performance and value made simple. Brunswick, find your next ball at bowlwithbrunswick.com. And by Columbia 300, Columbia bowls the world over. Welcome back to Las Vegas. Halftime entertainment here by some of the kids. One of them, Parker Bohn's son, Brandon, entertaining the crowd as if the crowd needed to be jacked up anymore. Let's take a look at our updated bracket. Parker Bohn moving through Dan MacLelland and Rhino Page now into match number 3 against the number 2 seed, Sean Rash, the current PBA Player of the Year. So Parker looking for his second ever major title. He has 32 PBA titles overall, 49 years old. And he opens up with a strike. Now Sean Rash from Montgomery, Illinois. 5 PBA Tour titles, already has 2 majors, USBC Masters and Tournament of Champions.
Reigning Player of the Year right here. Let's see what kind of ball reaction the right-handers have.
Two pin. So Rash has had poor showings on TV once in a while here at the World Series of Bowling. The last time we saw Sean Rash was several weeks ago here at the Geico World Series of Bowling. Rash matched up against another Player of the Year, Mika Koivuniemi, in the semifinal of the Viper Championship. Rash, in a lackluster performance against Koivuniemi, would only strike twice the entire match and eventually lose by 78 pins, 258 to 180. Rash now on the left lane. 10 pin.
He just needs to find a way to stay within himself. He's a hyperactive young man who gets a little too amped at times and gets too fast and gets way ahead of himself.
Rears back, fires at the 10 pin. A little aggression in that ball. And now, how quickly does that get into his head, Randy?
Well, I think that if his focus is in the right place, if he's focusing on the right things and his mind is and his head are in the right place, then it's not a factor.
Nice ball from Parker Bohn, the third, with the double, up by 11.
Parker looks like he wants to bowl for another major title.
Would I love to win a major? Absolutely. I've only got one to my credit, unfortunately, and I'm going to tell you right now, I've got 8 seconds in majors. And it's kind of a bittersweet, ending. There's still a good payday at the end of the tournament, but it's still really nice when you can say, I'm the champion.
rookie for Parker Bohn the third.
Come on, buddy.
What a start.
It's a crazy game, isn't it? The last game, Parker couldn't strike at all. In fact, he only had 4 strikes, and his first one didn't come until the 6th frame. Now he starts this game with a front 3.
And that puts him up 21 points over Rash. And here is Sean's arsenal.
Destroying an aura. It's a hard word for me to say. How do you say that word?
Aura.
Yeah, that's what I said, isn't it? Kind of.
There's the Sean Rash we've come to know and respect. The Earl Anthony Trophy on the left there, named after 6-time winner of this event.
Trying to go pretty straight, right around the 8-9 board.
Well, Rash the first to tell you that he is an emotional player, but he refuses to apologize for it.
Emotions are good, you know, nerves are good, and trying to stay emotionally correct, so to say, is it's tough because there's pressure of winning, there's pressure of the financial situations, the things that are possible in the future. Of you know, end of the day, you know, it's just who I am, and I wear the emotions on my sleeve.
And that is a double for Rash. That's Sean's dad, Gene, on the left in the blue shirt, and Sean's wife, Sarah, on the right, cheering him on. Parker Bohn the third. Up by 11, looking for his 33rd PBA title in his 28th PBA season. He got it! A 4-bagger for Parker Bohn. I respect the spelling of that term.
Hit him thin and watch him spin. Parker's perfect through 4 now.
He has thrown the most perfect games in PBA history, 88. Still perfect through 5.
Parker means business. Just another great shot. He overcame an ugly second game against Rhino Page. He's made the adjustment. Rhino's no longer a factor. He only has to deal with himself now, and he's got the whole left side of the lane to himself.
Parker wants Belmo. Rash wants Belmo. Can Rash pull it out? That's a good start on the right side.
One more, he cuts the deficit to 11. He knows that he has to start stringing strikes here to keep Parker from running away from him.
Rash knows he has it in him. That's the way to do it, says his wife, Sarah. So Rash only down by 11 through the top of the 6th, but Parker Bohn is perfect so far in the first major of the season, the PBA World Championship. Welcome back. That's where we stand. Parker Bohn still perfect as he steps forward for his 6th frame. Sean Rash coming to life with a 4-bagger now through 6. Up by 11 now. 49-year-old from New Jersey. Still perfect! The man with perfect form chasing another perfect game on television, which leads us to today's Cold Truth, brought to you by Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold. Of the 22 players who have rolled televised 300 games, 3 are on today's telecast: Bohn, Page, and Belmonte.
Parker's actually using the same bowling ball but drilled 2 different ways. So he's using a pin down on the right lane. He's using a pin up on the left lane. Pin down to get it to start rolling a little bit sooner. You can see the gold riser pin right there, but it's a mean streak on both lanes. 2 different drillings.
Oh, a sweet 7 in a row. Who will deny him?
Yeah, you tried to jinx him, Lon, but not to be. He caves in the 4-7. Watch this ball. Jerks here right at the end. Goes right through the face. That's some sick pin action. Look at
that. Hey, yeah, I had it all the way. Five in a row for Rash. Wow, the action on that pin deck is amazing from both players.
Nice trip 9 there to keep a streak alive. Shawn Rash's mindset right now is, I can't miss. I have to continue to strike. To have any chance, in my opinion, he needs to strike out.
Wheel.
Oh, and a killer ball. And Rash full well knows the consequences of that.
Come on, are you kidding me? God, that was so good off my hand.
Well, he likes this shot, but unfortunately this ball never picks up going down the lane and comes in light, leaving the light shaker 8-10.
So Rash, after a beautiful string of strikes, opens up, finds himself down by 35 pins. The last man to throw a 300 game in a major championship, none other than Parker Bohn III. So here he is, nearly 15 years later, trying to do it again. Can he stay perfect? Parker Bohn III, 7 in a row. Now a 9 count.
Well, I know he's disappointed that he didn't strike out and shoot 300. He's done it before, but he's going to move on and bowl Jason Belmonte for the first major title of the season.
Parker Bohn III's 3 of his kids are here, 3 of the 5, along with his wife Leslie. Parker Bohn III, very disappointed he couldn't keep front 7 going. Rash with an open in the 8th. Now trying to put the finishing touches on. He's back. Championship match. Parker Bohn's future, it looks like, to meet Jason Belmonte for this major. Nice ball from Shawn Rash. But it is too late for the current player of the year. Strike in the 10th to double.
Two years in a row of Sean Rash not winning at the World Series of Bowling. He's got to be pretty disappointed with that, especially after last season, the way he dominated here.
What else can go wrong for Sean Rash?
Well, he bowled a better game. That one shot where he left the 8-10 split was really the difference in this match. If he strikes there, he shoots 260 this game. Parker's got the front 7, or he starts with the front 7, and then he goes 9 spare strike. I mean, that's tough to beat.
There is the #1 seed waiting in the wings. Jason Belmonte will soon meet this left-hander, Parker Bohn the third. So it is official, and those kids will stick around to see a finale, and maybe their dad will bring home another title. It's Parker Bohn the third against Jason Belmonte when we come back. Welcome back to South Point of the PBA World Championship. Here's how that last match finished up. Parker Bohn the third, the winner, finished with Turkey 9 for a 278. Sean Rash 231. It's Parker Bohn the third who moves through to the finale, and he's talking with Kimberly Pressler.
Parker, you nearly bowled a 300. How are you going to take that momentum into the final against Belmonte?
Well, I did a little ball change there in the right lane, and lo and behold, things worked out well. You know, it looks like I got a lot of destiny on my side right now. I got my good luck charms that flew in with me today, so I'm just going to lo and behold and hope that it continues for 10 more solid frames, and I want to be standing here with you when it's all said and done.
Thank you for your time.
So let's take a look at the step ladder and how Parker got there. He was the #5 seed. He dispatched MacLelland, Page, Rash, and now one more man to go through for this title, Jason Belmonte, who's looking for his first major.
Hey, and let's not forget one really amazing stat. Parker Bohn is trying to become just the 15th player in PBA history to qualify in 24th place in round-robin match play and move all the way to the show and win. The last time it was done was 27 years ago by a guy by the name of Walter Ray Williams Jr.
He's pretty good still. All right, opening up this championship match, Parker Bohn, who almost bowled a 300 in the previous match, still has it. Sits down very satisfied. And now the #1 seed, Jason Belmonte from Australia, does not have a major title. He says it's all about the process, shot by shot, focus on making the best shot each and every time. Wow, not pretty, but it works. This is the third time we've seen Jason Belmonte at this year's Geico World Series of Bowling. He lost to Tom Doherty in the semifinal match of last week's Bowler's Journal Scorpion Championship, but the real heartbreaker was his defeat 2 weeks ago by Scott Norton in the PBA Chameleon Championship, where he had to strike on his first ball in the 10th in order to have any chance to win the title.
Yeah, look, that's what I'm here for. I flew from Australia to win the World Championship. The major, it's what we all want. It's what I'm here for. You're going to see the 10 greatest shots of my life in this major.
Belmo flinches first.
He's still sporting the facial fescue, kind of his trademark. No razors in his future, I don't believe.
You don't have to. You can just roll it there.
Just the process. Parker Bohn the third had an ugly game early, then a beautiful game against Rash. So which Parker Bohn the third shows up here in the title match? The Earl Anthony Trophy up for grabs. Oh yeah. Maybe it's the champion Parker Bohn the third showing up for this title match.
Parker Bohn is hungry for another title, major or no major. Nice pin action there, 7-pin falling late, but it still falls. This is a big deal at age 49, looking to win for the 33rd time in his career.
These two have not met in a TV final before. He still got it. And his kids love it. And everyone here at South Point on his side right now. Belmo's, he's got to make a statement now, and he does. Should Jason Belmonte triumph today, he won't be the first two-hander to win a major championship. That honor went to Osku Palermo in last year's PBA World Championship. Palermo prevailed over Ryan Schaefer 203 to 177. Palermo also the first foreign player ever to win this event.
Using a lucid, the most aggressive ball he's brought to this television pair.
It works. He's doing what he needs to do. Let that spare go. Just bowl forward. It's dangerous to get caught up in what you've done in a game already. Nothing you can do about the history. Everything you can do about your next shot. Parker Bohn the third. With the front three. Whoa, there was a 7-10 standing there just for a split second.
Well, if you're Belmonte, this is what you want to see. You want Parker to slow down a bit and give you some room.
Well, as hard as it is to believe, the man who owns 32 PBA Tour titles has only one major championship victory to his credit. Back in 01, Bohn claimed the USBC Masters, and he did it by beating one of his very best friends, Jason Couch, in the title match. Parker Bohn the third needs to stay in the moment. Up by 9. This match for the major championship.
Well, back-to-back 7 pins for Parker. Kind of shook his head at the last one. He didn't like the way that ball went through the pins, obviously. So another adjustment ahead for Parker Bohn the third.
Well, at 49 years old, Parker knows he's not the same bowler he used to be, and that he had to shake himself up to try to stay competitive.
He's had a long, great career. been at it for
28th PBA season right now.
For almost 30 years out here, and he's bowled a lot of games, and he's been one of the greatest players out here for a long time.
Now Belmo down 8. Yeah. Belmo's got it going. Talk about a driven bowler.
Tom Clark on your right, PBA commissioner. On his right, your left, Jeff Reese, our CEO.
Look
you
at
know
this
who
sitting
that
with
guy
the
is,
big
don't you?
wigs. Carmen Salvino, the PBA Hall of Famer.
That's my 1988 doubles partner when we won the senior touring players doubles in Cheektowaga, New York. There you go.
Belmo with the 4-bagger. And we have a championship match for you.
This is the first time in a while that Parker Bohn has trailed. Remember the last game, he started with the front 7 against Sean Rash and never trailed in that match.
Well, Parker Bohn trying to get back in the strike zone. Opened with 3 and then missed with 2. He's back. Extra Frame, the PBA's online video subscription service, is your source for exclusive live coverage of PBA events through the 2012-13 season. Tune into Extra Frame for live coverage of the upcoming winter-spring, featuring competition in the newly formed PBA League. Don't miss any of the action. Click on the Extra Frame link at PBA.com today for more information. Bohn down by 12. You can hear a pin drop, or how about 10?
Good one, Lon. Now it's a 2-pin match. Jason Belmonte steps up in the 7th frame, working on 4 in a row, but so much more on the line. This is his 3rd consecutive show. He's looking for his first major. If he were to win, this would jumpstart this season and his route to Player of the Year honors.
Can he stay perfect on the right lane?
Back and forth match again. Hard to believe anything left standing when his bowling ball hits the pins with that kind of speed and revolutions. But sure enough, it's a half 10 pin left standing for Jason Belmonte.
Two-handed is the only way he's ever bowled. He's had people all throughout his life saying, how can you do it? Give up. Give up. You'll never make it.
All the purists, all the traditionalists. If this was easy, everybody would be doing it. It's not easy. This is a gift this young man has. He's extremely talented at throwing this bowling ball with 2 hands.
But I think a lot more people will be doing this. Up by 1. Yeah.
Be a bit more aggressive. Be a bit more aggressive, Matt.
Belmo, one of 8 franchise players in the new PBA League, and one of the players he picked to be on his team, none other than Parker Bohn.
Parker is probably the pick that I'm most excited about. His form this week in the World Championship was undeniably, he bowled the best I've ever seen him bowl. And you want someone with momentum, confidence, and that drive to win and to get better. And, you know, Parker's that guy.
PBA League play kicks off in 2 weeks, but right now, these two battling to take home the first major of the season. Yeah, he saw it. He needed it. He wanted it. He got it.
Well, he almost ended up in the family's lap right there. There's not enough room for him to run it out. Pretty tight quarters here.
Yes!
Max score, Parker Bohn III, 268. Jason Belmonte, 259. All strikes and 2 spares for Parker, all strikes and 2 spares for Jason Belmonte, but the big difference, Parker's 2 spares came in consecutive frames.
He mentioned destiny could be on his side, and that strike right there underscores that point. Tapping the patch, the TR, in honor of Tony Reyes, good friend of his and everyone on the PBA Tour who died last September. Belmo working on a strike. Wow.
You know, sometimes it's just not meant to be.
Is that it?
That was a great shot. It's a ringing 10 for Jason Belmonte, the best he can shoot now, 239. Parker Bohn III is in the 240s already. Jason would need to spare here, strikeout, and Parker just needs a mark in the 10th frame.
Parker Bohn on the verge of PBA history.
Great shot, Jason. That's all you can do, mate. Great shot.
It's been a long time since someone's gone from 24th in qualifying to win a tournament. 27 years ago when Walter Ray did it.
Jason Belmonte trying to do all he can to make Parker work for him. 7 pin. And that is it.
Well, Parker just needs to stay behind the foul line and keep it on the lanes, but you're going to see a lot of emotions here. It's already started.
Family knows what is about to happen. Parker certainly does.
He's a great man. He's been a good guy out here. He's won the Steve Nagy Sportsmanship Award I don't know how many times. He's a great player, and nobody works harder or has worked as hard as that man over the years. Very well deserving.
As he watches Jason Belmonte finish off. Yeah, that's how it's going for Jason Belmonte. That pin,
Thanks for coming all the way, mate.
I think, bounced back up.
Dave, thanks, mate, for a great week.
And
You've got the
now
best balls in the world, I'll tell you right now.
Parker Bohn III. He hasn't won since 2008 Cheetah Championship. His first TV appearance since 2 seasons ago. Now just 7 pins away from his second major. Destiny was on his side. Parker Bohn III is the PBA World Champion.
Really happy for you, mate. I really am.
And we'll be back to talk to Parker right after this. The PBA World Championship is brought to you by Bear Advanced Aspirin. See how it can work for you at FastReliefChallenge.com. The USBC, enhancing the bowling experience for millions of bowlers. To learn more, visit us on bowl.com. Motive Bowling, high performance equipment with a fresh perspective. Get motivated. And by Storm, bowlers serving bowlers. Storm is the bowlers company. Parker Bohn III enjoying the spoils of victory after capturing the PBA World Championship here at South Point. Here's how we got there on the Geico Championship recap. Randy.
Title match against Jason Belmonte, 8th frame. Parker's working on a double. That's to take the lead. And then here in the 9th, biggest break of the tournament for Parker. He trips the 3-pin forward. Are you kidding me? And this was all she wrote. First hit in the 10th. Parker wins his second major.
And he's with Kimberly right now.
Parker, it's been about 5 years since you found yourself in the winner's circle, and boy, did you pick a good day to make a comeback. You had a little issue in the beginning. How did you push through to find yourself in the winner's circle?
Well, I kept manipulating a little bit. Obviously, the right lane there, I had to make a ball change there in the middle of the second match. And lo and behold, fortunately for me, it really worked out well. And, you know, you can't say enough about Destiny. Destiny being on my side, I really believe that Tony Reyes being a part of our team is really looking down on me. Tony, I know you're looking down, buddy, and this one's definitely for you, too. And it's just a lot of good things that's happened. I got good karma with me, and you can't say enough when you put it all together.
And your lovely wife, Leslie, is right here. We saw you guys cheering him on through all the matches. How proud are you of this guy right here?
This is amazing. He has worked so hard, and to see him put it all together this week, I mean, definitely performs when there's more games on the line, and this was a true testament to his ability.
Yes, it was. Congratulations. Parker Bohn III finds himself with his second major.
Parker Bohn III ran the table. What an exciting conclusion to this year's Geico World Series of Bowling. There are all your World Series winners, and you'll notice that after the clean sweep by foreign players here last season, the Americans have rebounded. This time, they're the ones taking home all of the World Series hardware. Next week, Parker Bohn III, just one of the Americans competing in the Round 1 Japan Cup, an invitational event that pits the best of the PBA against the best of the JPBA. That's next Sunday at 3 Eastern here on ESPN. Parker Bohn III climbed from the bottom rung, 24th, when round-robin match play began, to the very top after dispatching every one of his opponents, and he is the PBA World Champion. Glad you were here to witness it. For Randy Peterson and Kimberly Pressler, I'm Lon McCarran saying so long from Las Vegas.